Hello, good morning. My name is Amanda Madkins-Choyce, and I am a first grade teacher at Mount Vernon. And I'm here to talk to you all about closing the achievement gap and busting myths. And we're going to try as educators to achieve equal education for all. So let's first talk a little bit about what is the achievement gap. The definition has changed over the course of decades, but essentially refers to any group of students that achieve less than other students. It can refer to the white-black achievement gap. It could be the Hispanic-white achievement gap, or essentially they call it the poverty gap or poor-affluent gap. So what is the current data? We want to know, is there a gap? And how do we know? Well, we look at our data. And every year, the National Center for Education Statistics and the National Assessment Governing Board releases results from the NAEP. And the NAEP is the National Assessment of Education Progress. And some people call it the nation's report card. It's the score that they give educators in schools throughout the states and throughout America. And it provides results on how America and the states are doing in math and reading. Let's take a look at the current data, okay? As you can see, there are three trend lines. The first trend line is the blue, is the white-black achievement gap. And again, as I mentioned, they started off in 2003. This data is from 2003 all the way to 2017, which is the most current data. The red line refers to the white Hispanic achievement gap. And the green with the dashed lines refers to the poverty gap. And the data that they use for this is the free and reduced lunch. And as you can see, over the course of 14 years, looking at the blue trend line, the white-black achievement gap has been decreasing, okay? The same thing with the red. It started off at a 0.76 standard deviation, and now today, as of the current data, it is 0.61. So quite a bit of separation between the past and today. If you look at the dashed green line, unfortunately, you will see that it's pretty much have flatlined. But just to put this data into some kind of context for you, if you want to erase the achievement gap, you're essentially trying to get a standard deviation of 0. So even if you see the trend lines going down, if you still have a 0.74, that's still well above your needed score of a 0, okay? Now these are scores amongst 4th graders, and they've combined the math and the reading scores together. Let's take a look at the 8th graders, okay? And again, same data point from 2003, from 2017, and you still see essentially some decreasing. The blue is a little bit higher. The white-black achievement gap for 8th graders is a little bit higher than the 4th. However, the white Hispanic achievement gap is significantly lower, okay? And then again, you still see a leveling off of the poverty gap. Now let's stop for a moment and try to bust a myth here, okay? Since California has a diverse population, we have made significant progress in erasing the white-black achievement gap compared to other states. Now, I'm going to give you a little think time, and on your desk, you have a handout, and if you could just answer myth or truth and maybe give a little bit of an explanation. And as I said, I'm going to give you a little bit of a think time. Okay, so moving on, let's look at the data. This is the progress in closing achievement gaps from 2003 to 2017, again, our same data point. If you want to see a closing of the achievement gap, you're essentially going to be looking for a negative number. If the achievement gap has gotten worse, you're looking at the positive number. Well, looking at the states ranked from best to worst, our top 3 states are Indiana, New York, and Missouri. Well, rounding out the worst, unfortunately, is Washington, Alaska, Ohio, and California. Ohio and Iowa, I'm sorry. And these states have performed the worst. They have a positive achievement gap. So was that a myth or truth, being California being better because they're a diverse state? Actually, that was a myth.